Good evening, snipers. I hope you all are having an amazing weekend. I sorry for the late weekend call, but I was stuck doing some errands and I had to take a step back here. But I'm here and today we'll have a regular weekend call where I'll start off with our weekly seasonality and we'll talk about our earnings calendar, economic calendar, and then also the all the charts that I've shared technically and we'll go from there and see what top three trade ideas that I'll be looking out for and how I'm going to trade them. That's something that I'll go over with all these charts that I'll talk about as well. So without further ado, let's quickly get into it. So here's in our Discord earnings economic calendar. The first one here, looking at the weekly seasonality. I talk about this every week. It's not a projection of what's going to happen in the future. It's a mere statistic as to what has happened in the past. And using that metrics, we will try to play the bounce in the market or try to play the dips in the market. So here, weekly seasonality, it looks like Dow starts off very, very strong with 67% of the time green after ending the month of April, right? Like we have 3 more days for the for April to end, and Tuesday with a very very strong bounce on Nasdaq as well, 81% of the time green, and the last day of April being 29%, only 29% of the time green on Nasdaq and the Dow, and S&P also 33%. So starts the market starts off very strong, and probably this is what I'm thinking, where you'll have a nice little gap up and then you'll have that expansion. We have been seeing that expansion quite a bit, and then we will flag or have a slightish kind of down day for a little bit of a pullback, and then starting May you see 67 and 57% of the time Nasdaq being green on the first 2 days of May. So starts off very strong. We have a flag on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Again, we start to see that grind up kind of scenario, and we'll probably go from there. But that's what the seasonality tells you. It is not a projection of what's going to happen this week. It is a mere statistic as to what has happened in the past. Remember that. But around some specific dates, like I'm talking about month end, like around OPEX and around certain holidays, around certain dates which are very important with respect to the Fed or things like that, or the election years or the midterm years and things like that. These numbers make much more sense to me, but these have always helped me during trading, so I always keep an eye out for this on the seasonality front. Next one is the earnings calendar. Quite a bit of stocks that I talked about this week in our channel as well. I talked about most of the how people are positioned, and most of the tech, I would say there is a lot of put selling. I have talked about this last week when everybody was saying Tesla was going to go down. I said a lot and lot of put selling, right? So that is essentially what happened. They ate up all the premiums. Will Tesla go all the way up from here? I don't know. Will it go all the way down to 200 from here? I don't know. But a lot of put selling there. I talked about a lot of put selling in Google. I talked about a lot of put selling in IBM, and all of these held pretty well. This week also, very interesting. Microsoft has call buying also along with put selling. Put selling is all the way up till 320. There's quite a bit of call buying. Put buying is here on Apple. So keep an eye out for that on Apple. Lot of out the money calls being bought on Amazon. I talked about all those calls that are being picked up. Put selling on Amazon, very small call buying, also shorter dated. So keep an eye out for that on Meta. Hood, similar, very similar kind of setup that is setting up on Hood, very similar to what Palantir was. And one of the stocks that I really like to go long. Right now, with the current market scenario, you know how I'm like scaling out of most of my positions. That is why I'm not getting into Hood. But otherwise, I really love that stock. Lot of growth potential there, and they are always hitting the right spots with respect to trading, with respect to betting, with respect to all the good stuff that they're doing, banking and all that. Very, 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 very good stock there. So keep an eye out for that as well. Otherwise, what else do we have? These were the few stocks that I talked about. LLY, we still have shares from 700 plus something. I sold covered calls for 900 at about 11, 10 or $11 or something like that. I'm willing to let go of my shares. Totally fine. We 5,000 shares, like it's totally good, like we had our 150 200 point gain, and that's good enough. I mean, this is the fourth or fifth time we are selling covered calls on it, so I'm ready to let it go. FSLR again, another stock that we bought last week. After that, we had a huge bounce. We had a huge run on it also. I think we had a 350 or 360% gain on it last week on one of our call contracts as well. Very nice, neat, clean setup there. We sold some 160 calls. If it goes to 160, I'm totally willing to give it away. Otherwise, I'll probably hold on to it a little bit longer because I'm seeing some way out the money positions into 2026, 2027. So worth a hold, I feel. I'm not too heavy in it. Definitely heavy on LLY, definitely heavy on Tesla, definitely heavy on Google. I'm not as heavy on FSLR. We already got out of Nvidia. We got out of LRCX, very good gain. We got out of MSTU, which is a very good gain. A couple of losers that I have in my portfolio. Um, MU and I think MU and I also have AMD. These are my couple of losers that I have. I also have TTD. These are my three losers that I have on my long-term portfolio, which I'll figure it out. We'll see what to do. We also sold some covered calls on Tesla, which if it does go to 320 this week and we get sold off with our calls get sold off, totally fine, right? Like I mean our shares get sold off. Our average is around 316, 317 now. I'll have to check, but if they get sold off at 320, I'm totally fine. And on another pullback, I'll buy them at much cheaper rate, which is completely fine for me. But other one is Spotify, which is another one that you want to look out for. It's moving very similar to how Netflix is moving, so keep an eye out for that as well. Anything else? Anything else that really stands out? Team is another one that I have played before, but I didn't see much volume on it. Visa, a lot of call buying there, way out the money call buying there. That's something that I'll look out for as well. Oh, Booking Holdings. This is one stock that always keeps going up, right? Like no matter what, it just keeps going up. I'll keep an eye out for that, but nothing playable there. Like BKNG, Team, Visa, all these have very low volume. When there's no volume, I don't like to play them per se. So, because I mean, it's hard for me to get out because I buy like 100, 200 contracts, and it's almost like I'll be dumping it on someone, like if I have to pump it or something, which I don't like trading, so I don't trade them much. But otherwise, I'll be looking at it, see what happens. Oh, RDDT also, Reddit also this week, which is interesting. I'll be keeping an eye out for that as well. But I'm not into. I actually have to look at flow on that. But these are some stocks that I'm looking out for this week. Qualcomm, by the way, sorry, Qualcomm. Okay, I need to look at Reddit and Qualcomm. These are my two. These are some things that I kind of trade a little bit. So I'll have to look up the flow for these two as well. But otherwise, these are the stocks that I'm looking out for this week. For earnings per se. All right. Next, we have the economic calendar. Two major events this week. One is obviously the PCE, which comes out on this comes out on Thursday, or actually Wednesday pre-market. Actually, wait, PCE price index comes out after open. Must be something wrong with this. Hmm. Must be something wrong with this. I'll have to check it out again. That is weird. Okay, anyway, it usually comes out pre-market, so I'm kind of eeked out by it. But anyway, and we also have the NFP, which is another important event which comes out pre-market on Friday. That's another important event. Other than that, we also have the GDP, which comes out pre-market on Friday, which is this is weird. Like GDP and PCE don't come out on the same day usually. And why is it coming out at 10 a.m. when the market is open? Hmm. Very interesting. This week, so Wednesday, definitely be careful. Don't swing much into Wednesday. Like, seems like Seems like GDP and PCE both are in, and after PCE is reported, probably we'll look up for some calls. But otherwise, we are also doing really well on our small accounts as well. So um, I think we are all the way over 11,000 or so, right? Like this is yeah. I think Friday we didn't trade, so on the small account I don't trade on Fridays, but we are way past 11,000. Everybody doing pretty well. Uh, I'll have to look into that as well. But like I'll let you know what's going on there as well. So keep an eye out for that uh, double exclamation on it, and we'll go from there. But anyway, coming into talking about indices. Firstly, spy on the 65-minute chart. Beautiful trust through. We had this trend line for quite a bit. We have been looking at this trend line for quite a bit. Finally made that bull gap, made another bull gap. Was the bulls are thrusting through. They are trying to fill this bear gap out. This is the tariff tantrum bear gap, and like we are looking for the fill at around 264. I think sorry, 564.50. I think that's where we fill this bear gap here, thrusting through slow and steady. I'm not going to be as bearish per se here, even if we have a gap down tomorrow, because we have the trend line. This trend line is solid. I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4 tests before we broke out. So acting this retest of this with acting that as support at around 5. We are at 550, 543, so 7 points down. I wouldn't be as bearish. 9 EMA, 20 EMA, all of them are moving higher as well, which is very good. So any retest of this point, I wouldn't want to short the market. You always look for this particular retest as your confirmation of support to play it to the upside. That's how you want to play this market here, based off how the price action is right now. So can we talk about the double bottom that we talked about a few weeks back? Let's see. Double bottom that we have identified. Let's see this one here, right? Like this is the double bottom that we identified. Neckline. Then it broke out. What was the measured move of this? 120 to five, sorry, 520 to 490 ish. So that's about 30 points, right? So did we get those 30 points? Did 30 points is, yeah, actually we did. Actually we did. 520 to 550. That's exactly 30 points. So we did get those 30 points. That's the measured move of obviously we had this shenanigan, but after that we went through with that 30 points. Now the measured move here of this break of this trend line here, I think we are in for filling this particular bear gap, which looks here. This particular bear gap here at around 580. Once that bear gap is filled, then we go back to 610. But usually, I'm not saying it will happen again, but usually when such a long trend line, right? Like let's go back into the daily. I also want to show you the RSI. Just give me one moment, and I'll talk to you about why I'm talking about the RSI. Um, this was the bullish divergence that we had. We had a pop for a couple of days, and then it failed. So usually when a trend line like this breaks, like this is a very clean trend line, right? Like if you look into it, like like it's from all-time highs. We had that rejects, and 20 and the 9 EMA have been curling down. And if you look into how the 9 and 20 are actually moving up, and the 9 is also trying to go back above the 20, I think it will happen like this. Like this is usually the behavior of the market that I see. It goes down, retest this trend line, right? This trend line is acting as support now, because it acted as resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, resistance around here, right? Like somewhere around here. Obviously the resistance here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 times or 5 times you could say. And right, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or if you consider this also, it's the fifth time. This time it acts as support. By the time the price comes here, your 20 EMA and 9 EMA, the 9 EMA might cross up like this, right? That's the bull crossover is how I call it. And once that happens, that's the indication for these algos to push the market right back up, to use this as a support. That's how I kind of see it, right? Like that's how the market kind of evolves with this price action that happens. Obviously, it can. I'm not saying, oh, you know what, you look for this particular test to happen absolutely there. It can happen at 540 also. It just comes a little bit lower just to fake out or remove all the stops and then just jumps, right? That can happen as well. I'm not saying but closing under that trend line, right? Like if the daily bar closes under the trend line, if the daily bar closes here, that would be a problem. Intraday, if it just hits this level and just bounces, that's okay. That is fine. You don't want to close off a bar under the trend line. That is something that you want to uh, be aware of, and see what happens. But if tomorrow, if we are breaking above 550 160 and opening above it, I do think we have a much better chance to see 560 tomorrow or day after. And after that, we'll see that pullback. This is something that we always talk about in our sniper game plan channel. Why do we track gaps? All gaps, once they are filled, act as support, act as resistance. When it's a bear gap, when the bull gap gets filled, they act as support, which will create a bounce. So this is where I feel there's that pullback that's going to happen. And probably tomorrow might be the day that we might flag a little bit and fill a little bit of this bear gap, and then Tuesday we go ahead and fill this bear gap, and Wednesday is when we see that pullback, based off the seasonality that we talked about initially during the call. Stitching things through, trying to guess the price action. Maybe that's what will happen. But whenever this bear gap is filled, definitely know that it will act as resistance, and you want to be a little bit more cautious being in your weekly calls at that point. So keep this in mind, and traverse the market as and how it kind of evolves. Obviously, I'll be there to help you out along the way, and we will keep making good returns in the market. Our trading accounts are doing absolutely wonderful, hitting all-time highs, irrespective of the volatility, irrespective of the downtrend, irrespective of whatever that is. The main reason that many people have come back to me and said that they have improved is not going and chasing after every opportunity in the market. They only go after the opportunity that they see or that has come into their laps, and that is what they are trading, and that is how they're making a lot of money. And that is how essentially I am too. I don't chase after every opportunity in the market. There's so many opportunities out there. I really don't care about what someone else is making money on. I just am looking for that opportunity that comes to me, which is fit for me, and that is what I will be doing. So keep an eye out for for these levels. Keep an eye out for these bear gaps and bull gaps, and the trend line here, which is this trend line here is quite important. And I'll keep you posted with our live market commentary, and I'll be live anyway. Like sometimes I'll just get on live on our Discord as well. We'll talk about that. But keep the bear gap, the trend line. These are the two important things that you want to look out for this week. 564.50 is the fill of that bear gap. If we are opening above 551.60, I think we'll have a much better thrust towards the upside. So look out for all these on SPY. Next one is QQQ. Where's QQQ? All right, I'll just type it in once again. All right, QQQ, relatively weaker. That's how I would put it on QQQ. I know some people might draw something like that. Um, I don't know. I don't draw. I just I don't draw something like that because I'm basically forcing things here, right? Like because I'm trying to cut through this body. Yeah, there is you can always say, okay, that's a shenanigan, but then I'm cutting through this body also, right? So that's not a valid trend line for me. I would say this is a very valid trend line. Obviously, I don't have much to showcase with respect to you know, the rejects here in the like during this pullback. I don't have the trend line for these rejects, but this is another way to draw it if you want, right? Like if you want to draw it, this is another way to draw it. This is okay, wait. All right. All right. So this can be another way to draw it. So this is a valid trend line, but like we already broke out, and like we retested it, broke out, and we are at a pretty good level here. The next levels here is 486 and 492. We definitely have to hold. Let me see. We definitely have to hold 450, 456, 456. Yeah, we have to hold 456. uh First level to hold is 460, 460, and under that is 456. This range that you have to hold, that's the one that bulls have to hold. Looking at the daily also, the 9 EMA is also trying to cross over the bull cross over the 20, and that's when we will see a little bit more thrust. Probably a retest of 460 is not bad here, I would say. Actually, you know what, I do not want. Yeah, actually 460 is fine. I would not want 460, 850 to break under tomorrow at the gap down. Actually 468 seems like a better bet to play the upside. We'll see how we open, but if 468.50 is broken to the downside before pre-market, 460.50 is your first price target there. But if 468.50 is not broken, I would want to wait and see how it kind of can hold as a support, and we can probably play it to the upside there. So keep an eye out for this level at 468. Any level to the upside is basically 486 and 492.50. So keep an eye out for these two levels also on the upside. All right. Next is IWM. I like IWM into Monday mainly because it has a double inside day. You see this? You see the double inside day? That's the only reason I like it. It gapped up, and a nice little compression that's going on. Obviously, we are also seeing the 9 trying to cross over the 20. But 198, that's the first target here. If we are trying to break above 194, 190, yeah, if we break about 195, 198 is your target. You can take a day out in the market, like 198 calls or 200 calls for Wednesday or Tuesday. Tomorrow, once 195 breaks, and you'll get a good return on that, because 198 is the next target here. If 198 breaks, we'll probably play it towards 205. But a double inside day, definitely keep it on watch. A big move brewing here on IWM. If it happens pre-market, nothing I can do. But if it doesn't, I'm willing to play this one for zero DTE or a day out calls, and we'll probably play it to the upside here. Nice little curl also happening here on the 9 and 20 as well on IWM. So keep an eye out for that on IWM. All right, next segment here, we talk about our top 3 trade ideas for the week. The third one on the list this week is TSM. I know you all are in the fluids call for TSM for 516. Is it 516 or 59? I don't know. I'm not in it, so I don't know. But 170, 176, these are your two targets to the upside. Your stop loss would be somewhere around 160.50, break down. 9 and 20 again curling up. A retest about at around 159 to 158 is what I would enter. The position where fluid is in, I will let you know when I enter, but that is the level that I'm looking out to enter that the call position as well for that fluid has posted. 170, 176, these are your two targets towards the upside on TSM, so keep an eye out for that on TSM. Next one on the second trade idea for the week is Tesla clean neat trend line break. right? A lot of compression that has been happening. Once that 290 breaks, we have 325 coming out this week. 308 and 325, these are your two targets to the upside. Once 325 breaks, 336 and 348 are your next two levels towards the upside as well. So keep an eye out for that on Tesla. Looking pretty good. I think I last weekend also I talked about this particular trend line. Here we had that peekaboo setup, and then on Friday we had that huge bounce. uh, Amazingly caught by Fluid. I think she got the 270 calls at 1.2, went to 0.66. I felt like a champ getting it at 0.75, and I got out at 1.9. But the freaking thing ran to $15 on per contract. But anyway, next, if this 290 breaks, that's where I'll be probably playing it. But I have a lot of shares on Tesla. I'm not really worried about it. But you know, probably 60 to 60,000. It was a 6,000 $7,500 bet. So it was a $75,000 uh you know gain kind of thing. So right, like so $70,000 gain kind of thing. So I mean, it doesn't hurt me, but like it's so funny that it actually ran the way it ran, with everybody talking bearish about Tesla. It was just funny. But anyway, that's mostly about Tesla. That's the second trade idea that I'm looking out for. Once 290 breaks, 300 call is something that I'll be picking up for 308, 325 price target. If we have a dip towards 270, I'll be looking out for 280 or 285 calls here on Tesla. So keep an eye out for that on Tesla as well. All right. Again, trade idea for the week. I posted this on our YouTube channel as well. I posted it on our game plan channel as well. Once you see 218, 218, look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six times tested here on ZS. Once 218 breaks, we'll have a big move here towards 225 and 236. I'll be looking out for some 225 calls for 5.2 expiry, or 230 calls for 5.9 expiry. So these are my two positions that I have on my watch list, and that 518, that's the one that triggers the move on CS here. So keep an eye out for that on CS. Looking quite strong. Usually more the number of times that that particular level is being tested like this, once it breaks, there will be a big move on stocks like these. This is a very good setup here on ZS, so keep an eye out for that on the stock. All right, next one here on the list. Let's talk about ones that do not have earnings, just so that, like, uh, we can play them. First one is AVGO. I'm looking out for that 196 break. 196 breaks, I will be looking out for those 200 calls. I don't know if it happens on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. The day that it happens is when I will be playing it. Anything to the downside, you would want to see this 186.50 hold. If 186.50 does not hold, I will not have AVGO on my watch list. Next one is, let's talk about Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin has to hold 91,500. It had struggled to break that, and it has acted as support. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Look at number of times this level here acted as support, right? Like support, 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 right? Once it broke down, look at how fast it dripped, right? And then acted as resistance, dripped again, went up, like it had to create that little inverted head and shoulders, obviously. Anyway, but finally it broke out, and now it should act as resistance, like it should act as support. So 91,500, and then going right back up, possibility. Will it go right back up from here? Possibility. But 100,000 is my price target here on Bitcoin, so keep an eye out for that on Bitcoin. Next one is coin. This is another one that's not reporting. I feel this is an inverted head and shoulders. With how much is the measured move here? I want to look into that measured move. So we are this is the like 205 is the neckline. I think I told you 205 is the price target last week. We broke that. So it's about 60 points. So 60 points from here, we are looking at around 250, 260 here on coin. with and obviously it has to align with Bitcoin as well. So once Bitcoin starts moving towards 100K, 250 to see 250 call is something that you can take about a couple of weeks out and probably play it towards the upside. I'll be looking for a play on this onto the upside. If 193.50 is broken, I will not be looking for any plays on coin. So this is your stop loss here with your upside target at around 250 to 256 here on coin. So keep an eye for that on coin. Next one, Carvana. I already talked about 250 price target, and I think most of you are out of your Carvana positions, right? Like 250 calls for 516 or 59. I don't know what Fluid picks up, man. Like the ones that she doesn't. Um, yeah, you're all out. 5-2. Sorry. So this week. So I think you bought these at around $2, went to 55 cents, sold it at 52 cents, 5.2, which is pretty good. So anyway, like that's something that you want to look out for. I think I did not get into uh uh Carvana at all. Like, have I posted about it? I don't think I got into it at all. But anyway, that's mostly about Carvana here. Once that 245 breaks, 250 is the price target, 260 is the price target here on Carvana this week. So keep an eye out for that. Google is another one that looks very, very nice. It did break that trend line also, right? Like actually, there's no trend line from all-time highs on Google. There's a trend line right here like this. But it did break it. But I don't like a candle like this. I freaking hate a candle like this, which opens very high and then like dips. That's why I sold some of those shares that we bought at 158 at 167-ish. But I will be selling some CSPs on Google again, and we'll play to the we'll play a bullish stance on Google, but we will try to eat up those premiums here on Google. So keep an eye out for that on Google. Um, is there anything else that Shop. I think someone asked me about Shop. It did break that trend line. It looks pretty clean. I didn't cut any bodies here, but needs above 100. Once it breaks above 100, 105, 109 are your price targets. Any deal that they announce with China, with Canada, this one will be a winner. So keep an eye out for that on Shop here towards the upside. Other than that, I think that's all I have for today. I will be posting out more analysis tomorrow live. I'll be on voice, so we'll talk more about it. But otherwise, this is what I'm looking at. Market is trying to turn a little bit more bullish again, and just like try to play what the price action gives you. It's still a news driven market, I would say, but obviously the market is front running some good news, or is climbing that wall of worry that I talk about, pricing in all these nonsense, and the more you hit the market with the same kind of news, the lesser worried it will be, because it knows what's happening. As usual, we will traverse the market together. We will try to make as good money as possible. Obviously, there will be hiccups here and there. I'm not going to say we have 100% success rate, but our success rate is pretty high, and I'm very, very happy and fortunate to see so much of it trickle down to a lot of people as well. Having said that, have a good rest of your weekend. Sorry about taking a late call, but I hope this is helpful. Thanks a lot.